Okay, so this is a reaction to Flaco from Convict Perspective um, video earlier today, where he was talking about the video that Stork did with me. Now, if anybody notices on his video, he speaks a whole lot about filters and stuff that went around on personal information that goes on within the organization and gives details about like organization policies and procedures and just shit that goes on in there that shouldn't be spoken outside of there. And he says that he doesn't see why Stork did that video, but the reason why he did that video is because a lot of people speak lies and he wanted the truth to be out there. Now, if you watch my whole video, at no time anywhere in that video did he mention anybody's name, any inner dynamics of the organization, or say anything that would jeopardize him or anybody else. Another thing is, Stork is not homeless. From what my boy told me, who's his nephew, he wasn't homeless when he got out. That was one of the lies that he wanted to clarify. Now, I don't see how somebody can sit and say that at the end of their video that it's a bad look by him speaking. But you got all these content creators that speak on him and others from that organization all the time and include names and details about stuff where all he did was speak about his life. So I don't see how that's a bad look. What was a bad look, though, was doing a reaction and then adding in a whole bunch of details and inner dynamics of that organization that he didn't even talk about. He didn't mention, and he wouldn't speak about. Because that was one thing that was made clear prior to the video, was that he didn't want to say anything that could incriminate anybody else. And he wanted to make sure that no names were said for anything. And he didn't want to go into detail about anything that was personal or private to the organization. And he made sure that he didn't. Now, a lot of people wanted to know, like, for a video for him to go into detail on stuff, and me and his nephew agree that it could be something good as long as it was strictly to incidents that he was involved with, and if others were involved, that no names were to be mentioned. That way, nobody could say nothing about him speaking on his life experiences. Now, another thing is, Flacco was saying that he heard he was an asshole. From my experiences with him, talking on the phone and then doing the video and stuff like that, he was a good ass dude. He's cool, funny, respectful, and maybe if he was an asshole to somebody, maybe that person had it coming from him for whatever reason. I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. Now, what people fail to realize is just because there was the peace treaties in Pelican Bay from all the groups, that doesn't necessarily mean that everybody within those groups like the other people or respect the other people from the other groups. I know lots of people that call Sereno's scraps or Northanios busters or um, whites derogatory terms, black derogatory terms. But does that mean that they're speaking bad on them? No, some people are raised that way. some people, when they're brought up through gangs or whatever, that's the terms that they know them by. Now, what people need to realize is in the video, he talked a lot about the fights that they were making him do, and they would video the fights. And I believe he was 11 fights, and they would pop him out by himself and always pop out 2 Sureños. So that could be where his not liking him come from. I don't know, but I don't see it as a big thing by him saying that. Now, Flacco said that people weren't using that term up in the Bay. Well, there's a lot of things that don't go on up in the Bay, and there's a lot of things that do go on up there that people don't speak about. Now, is that something that people should hold against him? I don't see why. And what Flacco did say about him being um, attacked with the 2x4, there was 2 incidents that almost killed him. One, I believe, was the 2x4, and the other was with a crowbar. And it did cause head trauma, from what I know. Now, part of that could have been them giving him the retirement and letting him relinquish his position so that no bad decisions were made on his behalf later on that could end up being something that terminated him. And I think maybe he made the right decision, did the retirement. But that's something only he knows and they know. It's nothing that anybody else can speculate on. Now, I know he did retire on honorable terms. He did retire in good standings. And nobody could take that from him because he sacrificed 38 years of his life behind those walls, which is a lot more than a lot of people do. And he kept it solid the whole time, the full 38 years. How many people drop out within that time frame? So people could have their own opinion on him. People could do whatever stories they want on him. But just know he did put the truth out exclusively on this channel. And that was the main purpose of this video, was so that he could put the truth out there himself. So that people heard it coming out of his mouth, so that people knew, okay, he's not lying. But anyways, everybody's got their own opinions in life. That's what makes every human different from the others. And nobody could take that from no one. So I appreciate the reaction that Flacco did and taking the time to do the reaction. And anybody else that does reactions to it. And I'm sure there'll probably be more videos in the future. As for Flacco asking, he doesn't know what his reason is behind him doing the video. That was the reason behind him doing the video, because he wanted to put the truth out there, because so many people have done stories on him and nobody's ever kept it 100 in those stories. And that was his purpose of the video. It wasn't that he was trying to get money or needed money or was homeless, because that wasn't the truth. He was sitting at his house when he did the video. He was sitting outside, but he was at his house. So with that said, hit the like and subscribe. Stay tuned. There'll be more coming in the future. And thank you all for watching the videos.